What's good, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, aka Peter Mac. Hey man, get on up here, man. Kick your shoes off, pull you up one, and light you up one. You on the porch now? It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this. What's happening, fam? Welcome back to the Porch. This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, aka Petey Mac. We are back and we are on regularly scheduled programming. Yes, because you know last week I had to do the episode a day earlier than what I normally do because I went to Rome, Italy last Saturday. I'm going to tell y'all about Rome, Italy. Oh my God, that was amazing. It was so amazing to be in a city that I've read about in books, seen on TV. Man, it was lovely, but it was hot as hell out there. To quote my grandmother, it was hotter than panther piss out there. I never understood what that saying is or where the hell that saying come from, because I miss my thinking. If you are somewhere, find yourself in a situation where you are being urinated on by one of the biggest feline predators in the food chain, you need to reevaluate your choices in life and put whatever you drinking down. You know, I'm from the South, so you know it's probably 9 times out of 10 moonshine what people gonna be sipping on. So I had to, like, with it being so hot, y'all, I had to take it back to like the old school, like the 90s and early 2000s. You know, I had to get that washcloth, man. Yeah, I had to get that washcloth, and I had to put it in my back pocket, man. You know, every time we stopped and got water, I had to dab it a little bit and, you know, put it on my face. But I was up there wiping my face down more than T.D. Jakes when he be having them 3,970 hour sermons that he be giving, which we ain't seen a lot lately since he's been swallowed. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, Rome was a wonderful experience. First thing we did when we got off the train, me and my friends that I went with, we went to the Colosseum. The Colosseum, it was amazing, man, because I've seen a lot of movies, you know, read about it in my history books and everything like that, and it didn't seem like it was as big as we see on TV. Now, it was still a very massive structure, but it wasn't as big as how we see it shot in movies and films and things like that. And I also learned something very interesting fact. So back in those times, when people went to events, it was the higher up you sat, the more prestigious the seat were. So like the nosebleed seats basically cost more than the seats that was right down there by the action with all the lions, tigers, and gladiators and everything, because it was a status symbol because you were sitting up above everybody. I'm gonna say this, fellas. Next time you try to go out with a woman, she be like, you got these cheap ass seats, we all the way up in the nosebleed. Try to pull this out your ass and say, well, you know, back in ancient Rome times when you went to the Colosseum, this meant you had high status. She probably gonna end up leaving your ass, but it's gonna be good to see that look on her face when she like give you that stank look, then roll eyes and walk off. You know me, I'm all about like kind of, sometimes you gotta poke the bear sometimes. Sometimes I will poke the bear just to see how much I can get away with before shit comes crashing down. And that's probably why I'm single right now, because I don't know when to stop. Then from there we went from the Coliseum to Trevi Fountain. Trevi Fountain was gorgeous, packed as hell. Everybody and they mama was out there. Like we say back down south, it was everybody mammy out there. It was smaller than what I thought it was, but that one was definitely beautiful. That was beautiful. The water was clear and everything. Then we went to the Spanish Steps. I wasn't walking up them steps because like we had to go walk up the steps to go to the church that was on the hill, but I wasn't gonna do that because it was very steep and it was very hot out there, so we decided against that. Then we tried to go to the Pantheon. Beautiful structure. We couldn't get into the Pantheon because they was having a mass. It was a special Saturday thing that was going on. They was had an active mass, so we couldn't go in there and take pictures, but we did get to see it. And then I wanted to go to Sistine Chapel, which I didn't know until I just found this out. The Sistine Chapel is actually a part of the Vatican. We got to go to Vatican City, and I didn't know that it's part of the Vatican, and the Vatican was closing at the time, so couldn't go to Sistine Chapel. But I'm definitely I got to make plans to go back to Rome soon, because it was amazing. It was a once in a lifetime experience. I'm glad I had it. This weekend is going pretty good, because I just found out a couple of days ago, and I'm happy. I found out that yesterday Larry June released a new album. It's called Doing It For Me. I didn't even know until like 3 days before the drop that he was releasing some new heat. So, you know, like he say, good job, Larry. Hey, sock it to me. He brought that heat. He brought that heat with this one, man. Now I'm gonna say this: it wasn't like how the album he had last year with Cardo, the Night Shift. To me, it's not on that caliber with the Night Shift, but it is definitely up there. It is definitely a good album. It's an album you can play on repeat. You can sip your wine, a hen, or whiskey, whatever is your flavor to it. You can clean up your house to it. You can, do homework, grade papers. If you're an educator, sit and meditate. It's definitely got a lot of replayability. My favorite track on that album is Breakfast in Gold Coast. It's just real smooth song. So I'm happy Larry brought us some heat, but I'm also sad because like every Larry June album that come out, I'm gonna play it and wear it out over and over again. This was back in the day when it was cassette. I do like big. I let the tape rock to the tape pop. So we gotta wait till next year or 6 months, however long Larry's gonna do before he comes out with some new heat. But definitely happy about that. Definitely, if you're a Larry June fan, check that out. Also dropped today was another West Coast artist named Jimmy Waters. His 7-song album came out there. It was pretty good. It's pretty fire. It's called Why Wait. Yeah, it was just so it's been a good weekend for music for me, because y'all know I love me some smooth West Coast rap. So I'm happy about that. Now we're gonna go on to the Olympics. That's still going on. The Olympics. It's been some crazy stuff happening in the Olympics. Number one thing that's crazy that happened in the Olympics is French pole vaulter Anthony Oramati. Oh my God, it's so funny. I'm just trying to think. So my man was pole vaulting trying to get the gold, right? And when he went up, part of him got caught on the crossbar, knocked the crossbar down, and it cost him the gold. What happened when Anthony went up, the part that caught him was his manhood caught the bar and knocked the bar down. Brother bless. I wasn't looking at it, but hey, they showed the replay, they slow motion, everything. You tell you can't miss it. Brother's blessed. So he didn't get the gold, but boy, like Larry June said, his shit is doing numbers on social media. All kind of women are hitting him up talking about, you ain't got the gold, but you can sure have me call me. So he like I said, he ain't walking away with any medals from Paris, but he definitely, hey brother, for the next year or two, if not 4 years, you definitely are not gonna be hurting for no company of the female persuasion. You dig me? Oh yeah. So shout out to Buddy. Oh my God. I'm gonna move on from that, because boy, that shit crazy. U.S. basketball teams squeaked by the Serbian team in the semifinals for the gold games, and now they're going to be playing France in the gold game tonight. Oh man, I hope they can bring it home. I want this squad to bring it home. I kind of wouldn't, I'm kind of low-key, just about a 5% of me is rooting for France, because how badass and dope would that be to win the gold medal when the games are being hosted in your home country? Boy, anybody gonna be able to tell you nothing after that. Boy, you can just walk around and just, for the rest of your life, weighing people out there. So we won the gold medal when it was held here in France. I mean, your grandkids and everybody at your job and everybody in your neighborhood and at your church is gonna get tired of it. But that would be a dope ass thing to do. Like, so if France is to pull off winning the gold medal game, I wouldn't even be mad. But I'm from the United States, so it's let's go USA. There's something else that happened in Paris. I could say it's sports related because the young man, he was once a basketball player, and his dad is actually, it's been debatable, but I believe he is the greatest man to ever play the game of basketball. Marcus Jordan, the son of legend, or the GOAT in my opinion, Michael Jordan, was caught at a Paris resort snorting what appeared to be cocaine. Now I seen the picture. Everybody said you don't know what it is. No, I know that picture. He had the little bitty like dipstick that you put in. I don't know what the name of it is because I don't do cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I may have been around who may have did it, they didn't do. They just poured it on the table and did what they had to do. You got to remember, I do comedy, and I did live in Southern California. It's not that hard to be around somebody who does cocaine. Trust me. I seen that picture, and then the sad thing, what's funny about the picture was it looked like they were at breakfast when they do, because the spread looked beautiful. It had nice fruit, croissants, and everything. Marcus, when you having croissants and bagels, you have bacon with your breakfast, not a bump, dog. And then if you're gonna be doing that, be like he was all out in the open just doing it, like he just didn't care with no fucks given at all. And I just was like, bro, ain't even try to turn away, didn't even try to like go under the table or nothing. He just threw the boy. I know Michael Jordan just got to probably be thinking what his son is like, this nigga here, oh my god. First it was the Lawrence Pippen thing. Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, he was messing around with her. This dude was trying to cuff a hoe, a documented hoe, known hoe. Let me tell you something. Future had her. If Future had her, I call Future Slime Law. Like Slime Law said, from the street she arose, and from the street into the street she shall fall. If Future has touched the chick, you already know that girl is like a throwaway. But all y'all who been in the streets or in the hood or anything like that, y'all know what a throwaway is. You know what it is. It's a gun that is used on multiple hits, murders, you know, like sliding missions, whatever you want to call it. And what do you do when you have a throwaway? You bang it a few times and you toss it in the gutter and let the next man get it, because you can't keep holding on to it. You got too many bodies, and them bodies gonna catch up with you. So, man, I just don't understand what the guy's name is going on with Marcus Jordan. I mean, I can understand the buddy was in his 20s, but bro, we in our 30s. Some stuff you just gotta taper off, and you just gotta understand, like, let it go. When you in your 20s, it's cool because it's like, oh, he find his way, he made a mistake. But now in 30s, like, all right, bro, you gotta grow up, man. Like, because come on, man, this is gonna all fall back on your pops, man. I mean, I'm to be honest, all Michael Jordan dad, I wouldn't do nothing. I'd be living like a monk, man. All that money I got access to, and all the J's that I have access to when they drop, man, I wouldn't want to tarnish none of that money or any of that success, man. You gotta tighten up, Mark. Moving on to sports back here, stateside baseball being in full swing. The Atlanta Braves are at it again, as I say. Well, never at it again because they never stop. They got their ass busted by the Milwaukee Brewers 16-7. It just, Atlanta, the Braves are like, it's like if you a parent, you got that one kid that just are constantly messing up, like probably on drugs, probably getting drunk, always getting arrested, always get kicked out of school. You hope that they do right, and you're happy when you do see them do right. But it's like when they do wrong, all you can do is sigh and just keep going because you're not surprised at all. It's like you don't even tell them to have a good day at school. You be like, just for the love of God, just please behave. Just please behave. You're begging them to behave because you know that it's gonna go. That's how I feel with the Atlanta Braves, and I'm still carrying no frustration from last year with the Atlanta Braves. because they're the first team in both the National League and the American League to get to 100 wins. And what happens? They get put out of the wild card in the playoffs. First round, 3 games won by the Philadelphia Phillies. How in the hell are you the first team to do all of that? Then just, okay, screw you, we got 100 now, we ain't gonna even make it past first round. So, not even shocked about that with Atlanta. On the other news, in entertainment, so Christian Rock is looking at 8 years of prison time for drug charges. Apparently she's had these drug charges since like January. She's been ducking and dodging the cops because she's trying to raise her child, and everybody's breaking this news talking about she's looking at 8 years. And my ass is sitting here like, water's wet. Did we not see how this crazy ass girl was acting over the last 2 or 3 years? Why is anybody shocked? I don't know why anybody is shocked behind this. This is like, people are acting like this reminds me of when Tevin Campbell finally came out the closet a few years back saying that he was of the LGBTQIA plus community. I think that's all the letters and shit with it. I'm trying to make sure I get that because I don't want to offend them and have them cancel me. So I think that's all the characters they got in there now. It's like nobody's surprised. Like, who was you fooling? We all knew. So it's like her going to jail. This is not that shocking. I just don't understand. And then Nelly, go to St. Louis. Nelly, he got arrested for having exit pills. The reason why they pulled him over is because they said he had a warrant out for not driving without a license. Now, if Nelly, all that money and prestige getting hit in his hometown for not having insurance, the average black person on the street, and I know a gang of us riding dirty without insurance. I ain't one of them, but I know a gang of people riding dirty without insurance right now. We don't stand a chance. That's the first thing that hit my mind. Like, Nelly got pulled over not having insurance. Because I know people that play Russian roulette with that every day. And Nelly, it just came when they said he got caught with ecstasy. But Nelly must think, because he got Ashanti pregnant, had that baby, congrats to him and Ashanti, by the way, on the birth of their child. He must think that he back in his 20s and 30s. Because, boy, like, I'm like, nah, bro, you got to sit down. You got to sit down, big homie. Like, yo, you trying to move too fast, man. Boy, I don't know who had the saddest mug shot this past year getting pulled over. Was it him or was it Justin Timberlake? Because both of them look like there's something going on, and I'm praying for both of them that it can get right. Because these are people I grew up listening to their music, so I'm hoping that whatever demons both of them are fighting, they can get that right. And this ain't me clowning them. This is dead ass serious. These are two icons from my childhood, and you hate to see your heroes go out like that. So JT, Nelly, man, whatever y'all going through, man, I'm praying for you. Just hope that God turn everything around for y'all, man. And the last thing in entertainment news, this is funny. So the Fugees was supposed to have a reunion tour. Apparently it got canceled. I think we all know why it would have got canceled, but Lauryn Hill still decided to get up and address the situation, saying she doesn't understand why this is happening. I'm like, you of all people in this group should not have been the one to get up, because we all know how you get that. Well, from you not showing, we know how you don't get down, because you'll never show up, and when you do, you're 2 hours late, then you give a lackluster performance. I'm proud of people now, more than I'm clowning her. I'm more proud of people now, because people finally started to wise up, because for the longest time, you fools was killing me, because she has been doing this for a decade, like at least since 2013, and yet you fools was still buying tickets to her concerts, still sitting there with that I'm gonna use the saying that used to be said down south, spilling around the New Orleans area, the Gulf Coast area and all that. I hadn't really heard it anywhere else. Y'all still was sitting there with that dick look on y'all face when she didn't show up. Like, I had a frat brother in New Jersey, love him to death, and he got tickets to go see Lauryn Hill. Then he got online and said, I'm so heated. I was like, she ain't show up, did you? Like, no, she did not buy tickets. I'm like, bruh, now you knew better. Come on now. And all he could do was just hang his head. He gave me the head hanging emoji. And I was just like, I felt like Mr.'s daddy scolded Mr. when Suge came in. You just couldn't wait to do this, could you? But yeah, that was wild with Mr. Not Mr. Excuse me, Mr. with Lauryn Hill sitting there really having the nerve to say she don't understand why sales were low. Baby, just like my grandma say, just stop talking all that food talk. Just hush and sit down and talk food talk. You got these white folk think something wrong with you. Embarrassing in front of everybody. What's wrong with you? Now I'm finna get into the last few minutes of this episode. I'm gonna get into a situation that happened to me a couple of nights. It wasn't really a bad situation, but it's a situation that I kind of have a lot, especially being a black man from Mississippi, and it kind of it's annoying to me. Because I know people don't mean no harm when they ask it and they're going on about it, but it's like, it just no. So what happened was I went out, a guy that I work with, he was transferring away, and I went out with my co-workers just to say goodbye to him. Didn't really know him a lot, bit that long, but he seemed like a cool dude. Sat down, talked to him a lot. Real chill dude. So I said I'd wish him well on where he's going. So I go there. One of my coworkers, they brought their wives with them. So we were sitting out. We got to talking about what people call sodas, and one of them said something about soda, another said pop, and they was like, people down south don't say pop. I said, no, actually some people do say pop. I found it out when I went to Alcorn. Like my homeboys from like Jackson and Natchez, they say pop. I remember they was like, meet me by the pop machine. I'm like, the hell is a pop machine? Like, man, where they sell cokes. I said, you mean a drink machine? Because we don't call that pops where I'm from. We call them drinks. Like I heard some place say they call them cokes in the south. I've never heard it be called cokes in the south. I've only heard we call them drinks, and I know in New Orleans they call them cold drinks, which I don't understand, because why in the hell would I give you a hot drink? But yeah, so we got in that, and I told her where I'm from, we just simply call them drinks. Then she asked me where I was from, and I told her, I said, I'm from Mississippi. She's like, oh, you're from Mississippi? She was like, yeah. So I found out while we were talking before I told her, I found out she was from San Diego. She actually was from one of my favorite areas in San Diego, Chula Vista. Because Chula Vista is like, it's not too ratchet, but it ain't too bougie. It's like Goldilocks said, it's just right. So when she found out from Mississippi, her eyes kind of got wide. And I already knew. She said, so I gotta ask you a question. And I already knew what was coming. And she, no offense to her, because she didn't know no better. A lot of people from out there in California, they don't know no better. She asked me, she said, what was it like growing up down there? Like, she was like, I've only been to Texas and I've never been to Mississippi. What was it like growing up there? I'm like, it's like growing up in any other state in the union. Like, we do the same thing and anything. And then she asked this question here that I can't stand, because I just don't understand how people are this oblivious to it. So she asked me, she said, well, you growing up in Mississippi, she was like, how was it, when she's asked what it like, I know she was new, she's like, what was you talking about? And I cut off and said, you mean the racism? She's like, yeah, what was the racism like? And I hit her with this. I said, no different than what it was when I went to live in San Diego. She was like, what, for real? I'm like, I said, actually, to be honest, I dealt with more of it in San Diego, because in California, y'all tend to be, or try to be subtle about it. But here's the thing, when you grow up, black people, when we grow up down in the South, we know we've been hit with overt racism. And of course, we're going to get hit with sort of racism too. That's why when we go other places, we know, like, oh, this motherfucker racist, man. Oh, they don't want me in here, whoop de whoop de whoop. And because we know overt racism, we can pick up on signs and let us know, like, oh, we're not supposed to be in here. So we had, she kept trying to go on and on about it, and she was telling me how she went through South Carolina. She was like, I drove through South Carolina and I saw like they had plantation houses. She was like, how does that make you feel seeing that? I'm like, it don't make me feel no type of way. I mean, slavery was a thing for like 500 years, 400, 500 years. It happened. Like, me getting frustrated about it don't change the fact that a lot of people were sold and beat and raped and killed and families were destroyed and all that shit. It don't stop it. So ain't no point in me crying about it. I'm like, it just, I don't about that. Then she tried to, so like, this is my thing with people from California. They're liberal, but they're very annoying with it. It's because they live in their own little bubble. Like what I said, when I told her I experienced more racism out there than I did growing up in Mississippi, she was just shocked. And she was like, we don't have racism. I'm like, yes, y'all do. Like I said, I gave a few examples, some places I went downtown and other places I went, but I experienced racism and this, that, and the third. Then she told me a story about she went somewhere with a black friend of hers, and it was a black friend was her Caucasian friend's boyfriend, and they said something to him and they made him leave, and they were like, well, if he's leaving, we all leaving. And I was like, you just said you didn't deal with race, you experienced racism. Yeah, I didn't. I said that was an example of it. And she like, it was. I was like, yeah. I said, y'all don't understand what hit you in the face. And I know they don't, because so y'all know I told y'all I went to Disneyland last summer with my ex-girlfriend. While we're in Disneyland, we're getting on one ride. We're in California's Adventure, which I think was a waste of California taxpayers' time that they built that, because I really didn't see the hype with with California Adventure. Disneyland straight, I have no beef with Disneyland, but California Adventure, y'all could have left at a parking lot, because now, like I said, everybody, we missed that train. We got to walk like damn near a mile and some change back to the parking structure. And if you've been drinking in downtown Disney, which I'm sure a lot of adults do, because that's the only way you probably can stomach being there with your children, that's kind of, yeah, we're not in our 20s and teens no more. That shit's you're gonna feel that in the morning. So we on the ride, we're on Soaring, if anybody's ever been to Disneyland. And while we're in line, we cracking jokes and this and that and the third. My lady friend, she's laughing. Her laugh is kind of boisterous. So is a Caucasian fellow. He was kind of looking at her. First he looked at her one time, then went back doing what he's doing. So now I poke up, my antennas go up, and I look at him like, did he just look at her or something? So then she said something else, laughed again. He kind of looked, rolled his eyes. Okay, so now I'm on alert. Like, okay, you are looking at her. She said another thing, laughed again. He lets out one of those sighs. I know what that sigh is. That's a sigh before a racist person or somebody who's agitated is going to say something to you. So now, all my emotions, all hands on deck. Every angry cell in my body is all hands on deck. So now I'm at the ready. Hands down, I'm kind of at the ready. I'm kind of turned at a 45-degree angle to him, because I know it's probably he going to say something and it's going to be time for me to rock and roll. So she did something again, and I guess he looked like he was about to tell her to keep your voice down, because that's what a lot of race people, they want to say, hey, voice down, sensory overload, or hey, so he looked like he was about to tell her to keep your voice down, because we was inside of you go in those queues, they got the queues, that's the waiting areas in line. So he looks up at her, looks like he's about to say something, and at that moment before he says something, I gently grab her hand, kind of position myself in front of her, and I give him a once up and down with my eyes, and then I lock eyes with him, basically letting him know, I know what you about to do, and you can do what you feel, but be prepared for what the fuck you finna find, because whatever you looking for, you finna find it, but you ain't gonna be happy when you find it. And when he realized, oh snap, I'm like, yeah, she with a man, or a nigga, as you might think. Do what you gotta do, or do what you want to do. Like Bodie said on The Wire when he cleared the pit in the first season, do what you feel, but finish what you start. I said all that was just looking at him, and then he backed down. Like, oh yeah, then he tried to start cracking jokes, and you know how people do. You know how they do when they cracking jokes with you and they try to defuse the situation. They crack a joke, then they look at you kind of like, we cool, we good, we good. And I'm just looking at him like get the fuck out of here, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. So he kept doing that for a little while. I think he did like 3 times, and when he realized it just be in his best interest just to shut up and just go on by his way. So, like I said, she didn't. Like I said, but like I said, my coworkers, like, she didn't mean no harm, and I didn't get mad. But I just want to tell people that, especially you Californians, and I feel bad because I was warned by California before I got out there by comedian Marvin Hunter, who did 20 years in the Navy. If you're not following this man, please do. This man is a beast in comedy. This man makes it look like child's play. And he's from Mississippi, so it's a double whammy why I love him. And he warned me before I went to California. He said, you got this image of what it is? Because he was stationed out there. He said, you got this image of what it is. He said, sunshine, palm trees, beautiful weather, women in bikinis and all. He said, but some people out there on their own island, they just not. I said, what you mean? He said, I can't describe it. You'll find it. And within like 2 or 3 weeks of being out there, I saw what Marvin was talking about. Like, I really thought I was liberal till I got out there. I found out I'm conservative as hell. Because they will beat you down with their ideology. Like I said, the young lady didn't know no better. But I'm going to say to anybody who's not from the South, one, please don't ask how racism was for us, because you had racism around you too. Either you just were delusional to it, you couldn't understand it was subtle, or you just naive and lying to yourself. Because racism is everywhere. And yeah, everywhere I go, I deal with it the same way I deal with it in Mississippi. So, I understand y'all trying to make yourself seem like an ally. You're trying to sympathize with somebody, but it kind of annoys us, and it makes us feel like we just are behind the rest of the world, because we're actually not behind the rest of the world. Like, say anybody out, like I said, so just stop, y'all. Just stop asking that question when you meet somebody black from the South, because it's annoying as fuck and it's exhausting us. Please stop. Thank you kindly. That's been my time on this episode, man. Y'all want to reach out to me, y'all find me on Facebook. You see how my name is spelled, so it shouldn't be that hard to find me. You can find me on Instagram, PDMac10, PETUYMAC10, on TikTok, PDMac89, same spelling with a name, just the 8 and 9 behind it. It's been my time. Y'all be cool, stay calm, and get paid. Holla at y'all.